The Honorable Reverend Meshoe.
Thank you, Honorable President, for your reply. Speaker, Section 165(4) of the Constitution of South Africa says, and I quote, "Organs of state through legislative and other measures must assist and protect courts to ensure the independence, impartiality, dignity, accessibility, and effectiveness of the courts," close quote. What the President said regarding the judiciary during the sitting of the National House of Traditional Leaders seems to undermine Section 165(4) of the Constitution. According to a news broadcast of the proceedings, which I have on video, the President states, and I quote, "The law looks at one side only. They do not look at any other thing," close quote. This seems to imply that the law is partial to some degree and therefore cannot be trusted. Does the President agree that this statement is a breach of the Constitution? If he does not, how does his statement protect the dignity and impartiality of the courts in the light of Section 165(4) of the Constitution? Thank you.
The Honorable the President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm not sure how the Honorable Member understood the statement that I made when I was advising the traditional leaders on a very important matter and taking the experience, particularly of the poor people over which they take charge. For an example, if people were to claiming of the land, I'm sure it is common knowledge that if you don't have legal representative, it is difficult for you to win any kind of litigation. You need litigation, you need lawyers in the litigation to help you fight your case. You can't say because the Constitution makes it very clear. You can just go to court and say, "I have no lawyer, I'm here," and hope that you can win a case. You know no technicalities, you know no law, you are not studying any law. That's why you need representation. And those who have money, they will get the better quality of legal defense. It's a reality. It's a reality. The point I was making to them was that given the fact that there's been reopening of the land claim, rather than them going individually, they must put their resources together and have one good firm that is going to help them to argue these cases better. That was the advice I was giving. That does not undermine the Constitution. The point I was making on the thing, I was just making an example, that legal people will tell you, legal people look at cold facts and deal with the case. And my view, and I've said this before, that yes, it is legal, but it is dealing with the warm bodies. Now, how do you deal with that? You can then interpret it in your own way. It's just a fact. That's why there is an expression that ignorance of the law has no excuse. Whether you know the law or not, the law is going to take its course. I was advising the traditional leaders this time around that they must not lose cases because they don't have good lawyers in the litigation. That's the point I was making.